Say Mohicans, it's the big dog on campus, Apocalypse Brown. I got my boy, Hot Boy Kai.
HOTBOA, all capitals, no spaces, you dig?
I got on the panel all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, Miss LaChoy.
How y'all doing? Welcome to the show.
And I also got on the panel Miss LaDy-SN3AK.
What's up, y'all? It's me, LaDy-SN3AK, and I'm here with them. We doing it. What's up?
You feel me? Featured guests.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Arts of Culture for Rawthentic podcast.
What was it like growing up, and when did you become LaDy-SN3AK?
I got you. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, what was it like growing up? I mean, my life, I grew up in church. You know, my mom and dad are singers and musicians, and
Yeah, I heard
you know,
you got a musical background.
Huh?
I said I heard you got a musical family background.
Yeah, I do. And you know, they raised us in church, singing in the choir, singing with, you know, our family, and then, you know, I would go to school and we have like the choirs and all that. I joined all the choirs. I did the honor choirs. I did, you know, I did like the solos. I sang classical music. You know, the opera, all that stuff. I did all of that through school. And I used to like around, I guess like when I was around like 11, 12, 13, I would be like performing for my mom and my stepdad. And like, I would do like poetry. And one day my mom was like, yo, it don't sound like you doing poetry. Like it sound like you rapping. Right. And I'd be like, you know, that's kind of true. Like, I guess like, and I just kind of took that and ran with it and started practicing more so in terms of rapping. And so like, that's when I really like gathered that I could, and that was okay. But my whole life I've been singing. But when I stopped, the first time I ever performed like R&B music on a stage, I was like 15. I was 15. I performed at something called the Mayor's Teen Fest. And I was the only like Black artist. I was the only person singing R&B. Everyone else, it was like maybe one other pop singer, but everyone else was singing like heavy metal and like screamo. It was like so bizarre and different. But I got the most nervous I've ever gotten in my life. I was shaking head to toe, and I realized, I said, I cannot allow this to happen again. And I started taking music like very seriously at that point. I was like 15 on, you know, even though I had performed and sang and did all the classical and gospel and stuff like that, that was my first time really venturing out to do like R&B music. And then I started taking my own music seriously, writing and things like that. But I always liked sneakers, and my friends used to call me Sneak. So yeah. And I just took that and ran with it and just added the lady on it. But yeah.
So we're gonna start with you, Mr. Choi. You got any questions from LaDy-SN3AK?
So LaDy-SN3AK, based off that they already did the background, how you come into the music industry and how you got your name. I want to know about your new song that I just listened to on your website, Making Changes. What made you create that particular song?
Yeah, so outside of me just being an artist, I'm also an educator, and I came up with this program called East Bay Rising, where I brought a bunch of young people, ages, I believe they were 15 to 25, about a bunch of young people together that wanted to pursue their careers in music, and whatever music, poetry, acting, and whatever their craft was. I helped them to develop those skills. We did like vocal training. We did hip hop awareness, like what was hip hop in the 90s, what was R&B in the 90s, and like basically what we did was whatever their craft was, whatever the genre of music that they represented, we told them to use that, but create that music around the same style of like R&B or like the 90s era of music. So we created beats that kind of capitalized on the like 90s era of music, and they all record. Our featured artists from that opportunity recorded an EP with myself. And from that, I came up with this like live talk show where they could perform. This was during the pandemic. So it was supposed to all be in person, and all like we were supposed to have a bunch of shows and things like that. But we had 5 shows, but they were live streamed on a main stage at the UC Theater in Berkeley. And we chose 5 featured artists for every show. We would interview multiple artists, and then they would perform. And so basically from that, what they created from like all of our classes and things like that, we recorded their songs, and I created an EP around that, the development of them as artists and things like that. I hope this all makes sense. And yes, and so from that, I also recorded my song, my track for that EP, which was Making Changes. And I mean, I'm all about positivity. I'm all about uplifting our culture, uplifting our people, humanity, just like being in the community and educating the community for, you know, to be better and uprise. So that's why I came up with that song. And I mean, it was about the young people, it was about the youth, it was about us like recreating you know, I don't know, just, you know, vibrating on a higher frequency and just elevating. So yeah.
For sure. I can dig it.
I can get
So, speaking of which, are there any particular projects that you're working on right now, or you plan on going out and trying to make yourself like nationwide to touring and everything?
Nationwide is on your side. I'm sorry, I had to. Yes, absolutely. I am like so focused. I'm working on an album currently. And I have like one more song to record. I mean, I've recorded it actually. It's just like one section of the song that I need to record. And I'm hoping that I could drop the project no later than like end of March. No later than end of March. I'm hoping to drop this project. It's really it's about my life, my love life. Like it's about what love means to me, or what it's been in my life. It's raw, it's real, it's some suggestive things, but for the most part it's very cut and dry. It's really an R&B album. I have maybe 3 songs on the album that have like maybe a couple rap verses, but for the most part, overall, it's a real R&B album. There's some pop elements, and I'm mixing some genres, but for the most part, yeah, like we hitting that R&B because like where it's at, you know, we need it.
Any specific reason, like the March time frame, for any reason?
Because okay, so I only have 3 tracks out, you know what I mean? And I've been working on this particular album for over a year and a half, and I just feel like I need music, and I want to tour, and I want to create, and I want to show the world. I want to show people, I want to show my community like what I have to offer as well, because I'm not just an educator. I'm not just someone that's just out. I'm performing. I'm doing shows and things like that. But no, it's bigger than that and it's deeper than that. And I have a message. And I'm not like any other artist. I don't sound like any other artist. I'm like literally authentic. I'm literally like I work hard for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I practice. I study my music. I study music in general, and like all of that's going to be shown in this. So the time frame for one, like I initially wanted to drop it in like February because of, you know, Valentine's Day, and it's all, you know, it's love music, it's breakup, it's all of that. And so it made sense. But I'm like, to be more realistic, I'm hoping, you know, just March, and March is also Women's History Month, you know, so there's that. Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it. So what other artists is that you listen to that kind of give you the inspiration that you need for your music? And are you planning on collaborating with anyone?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Who do I listen to? I've always, since back to the 90s, I've always been a Beyonce fan, or Destiny's Child, Beyonce. So like she's always like number 1 on my list of like inspirations. And then Lauryn Hill, Jasmine Sullivan, Tupac for sure is on my list. Lil Kim is on my list.
Why did she make this? Let me ask. Why did Lil Kim make the list? What
Oh
made what
man,
you started fucking with Lil Kim?
from day one, man. Like literally, I was a child, but it didn't matter. I was sneaking. But I mean,
That's
listen,
fair. When you say ignorant, okay, that's fair. That make all my
I say
sense.
the only person
When you
that
go from Lauren Hill to Lil Kim,
yes,
you
absolutely. I
that's
mean,
the only that's the
ignorant.
only person that
But you
stuck
know
out to
something,
me.
you know
Lauren Hill,
something, I
like,
can't
they-
knock,
they-
I
the
can't
way
knock
you
her
can transition
choices.
from one to the other. Only way.
I can't knock the choices. I like them. Uh, have you listened to anything that's beyond Beyonce and Lauryn Hill and Lil Kim years, like gone back like 60s, 70s type of people that
oh yeah,
inspire you?
absolutely. I mean, I grew up with churchy parents, okay? So like all the like, but the old school music is like super, it's it heavily influenced the type of music that they make too. So it's like I listen to or who would inspire me from like back then, like Marvin Gaye, um um like Aretha Franklin for sure, Patti LaBelle, and like the styles of like Gladys Knight, the way like she is phenomenal, honestly. She is phenomenal. Her voice hasn't, it's like it's still beautiful. She could sing absolutely anything. And that's someone to be inspired by. Like someone that could take a song today, sing it like it was like she made it today, like, and it's dope. She's amazing. I watched her on the Masked Singer like a couple years ago too, and she just killed it. I think she made it to like the top 3 or something. It's like, that's bizarre, right? But yeah, man. But I would say, yeah, I've listened to all of the oldies type music, and even like people like I'm gonna go back to the 90s, but like D'Angelo, um, Erykah Badu, like I grew up listening to them as well, So yeah.
So I got a question. So when people hear this album, or what sounds can they expect from this album? What do you feel is gonna stand out about your album rather than it just being the newest and the next one?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yo, what's gonna stand out is my creativity, for sure. Like,
And you mean like your creativity in like the way you can create a picture with the vocabulary that you have, or your creativity as far as cadence within the song, or your creativity is like where you break it down for me right quick.
yeah. So for sure, like I would say, like the way that songs are structured nowadays, I'm not following a structure. I'm not following just like, okay, hook, verse, bridge, hook. Like it's not like all my songs are not structured that way, or verse hook. Like it's not all structured that way. And there's like little bitty, like there's like elements in like the backgrounds that I'm like playing with my voice, or I'm doing like little different things. And I'm doing harmonies and like by myself. You feel me? Like a lot of artists, especially nowadays, they'll have background singers to do that. But I'm doing all that myself, and I'm producing that aspect of it, like really like taking my time and figuring out what really works and what sounds great. And so like I feel like I'm very creative on that level. And then also it's great writing. Like I'm not just saying that from my perspective, but I've heard that, like I'm not just like, okay, me and the producer we're working on this, and the engineer we're working on it, and that's that. It's I'm allowing other people to listen so that I know where to go with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, not just from me, but yeah, it's good writing.
So not to bring up a sore spot for all of us in the R&B community that loves the music, but considering the creative mind that R. Kelly had with in the closet and stuff like that, are you referring to that you're telling stories like that? Because there was no verse hooks or nothing, but it gave us a story that we really enjoyed during the time when he was making music before he got into all this trouble.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, he heavily influenced music, R&B, hip hop, everything. You know, I mean, I hate it. I really do hate it. And I actually stopped listening to him. But I would say I do have some of those. I would say I have some elements like that. Like I'm playing with the poetry. Like I have that in regular songs, you know. There's interludes, there's intros. Like I'm like taking it back like a little bit, you know, and like I'm going there. It's like you'll feel the entire message throughout the entire album, and none of the songs sound the same. They're all different.
So based on
But
what you're saying, it sounds like it's more towards how Michael Jackson really brought into the music in the industry. Like,
okay, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I'm sneak. You know, I'm saying I love
He did have a lot of
so here's my question for Hot Boy and Lady Sneaks, because y'all both are in the music industry, and Hot Boy, you did just drop an album on November the 18th. Would you two consider collaborating with each other in the music? Because I know Lady Sneaks, from what I've seen, you're a songwriter, singer, and a rapper. And Hot Boy Kai, I know you do some rapping. I don't know if you do singing or ad-libs or whatnot, but I have heard some of your stuff, and yes, it's really popping and enjoyable on the hype side. And what I've heard from Lady Sneak is kind of laid back, chill, and relaxing. She got that therapy voice. So how would y'all collab with that?
I'll give it a shot just to challenge my own penmanship. So it's a few features I'm looking at tackling next year, especially probably around like summertime, June, July area, where they start popping out new singles and whatnot. But no, I wouldn't mind doing a song with you for sure, Lady Sneak. You know what I'm saying? We get on some like how Nelly and Sierra had to step on my days on Jermaine Dupri. Feel me? Like I wouldn't mind. And I was just in my own head like the other day thinking about how like 21 Savage got songs with Burna Boy and shit. That shit fire me. I don't care what nobody say, but that shit hard because that shows the versatility in his own rap, like in his own greatness. So yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a feature with you at all. That's easy shit. Feel me?
Sneaks.
absolutely, I'm with it. I agree. And the thing about me is I'm super versatile, and that's the other thing that I want people to realize is that, like, although the thing about me is I don't use profanity in my music or anything. So it's like people think like I can't.
Hide your kids, because
Huh?
I said cover up your ears, hide your kids.
No, I know. I don't care about it. I'm just saying for me, like in my actual music, like I don't use it, but so that makes people think like, oh, okay, like if I don't have a certain sound or if I'm not in this realm, like I can't do music with Sneak, or like I gotta make sure I got a clean song, or I gotta make sure it's this. But again, like I'm versatile, and just because I don't use the profanity, that don't mean I can't go there without using the F word or B word. I can still go there. I can still be suggestive. I can still, you feel me? Like I said, I'm versatile. I have that.
Same thing too. It's like
Very
the same concept I was just saying with 21 Savage. Like he came out with the whole Slaughter Gang shit. But if you could jump on the song with Burna Boy, how you feel me? How can you not say that he cold? Like how can you not say that he really put the work in and put the grind in to understand what it takes to be on both sides of the spectrum at the same time? So yeah, I won't mind at all. That ain't nothing but work for me. When you think about it, it ain't nothing but, you know what I'm saying, a little pebble to a giant.
So here's a question for both of you. Considering she mentioned about Tupac being one of the people that she listened to and was really inspired by. Is that the same way for you, Hot Boy Kai? Because my question is based off of the fact that he had so much music that from what everybody said, he could have dropped an album 20 years even after his passing. And it seems like it's been that way.
Yeah, it is the same way for me. And I'll even bring it to more so a newer generation, just to stay relevant with people that we may or may not know. So like I said earlier, or like I felt earlier, like I wanted to go straight to the studio today, just based on like how I'm feeling the moment I wake up. You know what I'm saying? But that comes from me watching artists like OMB Peasy, who's from my like home city. His people house like 20 minutes from my folks' house because Mobile just that small. And watching other artists like PB Pluto, shout out to another nigga from my city, Honeycomb Brazy, another nigga from my city, but just to watch the grind that it took for so long, where they may not have felt like they was getting the recognition they deserve, or the times they felt like they should have been somewhere else and they wasn't. That in itself, and watching them never give up on that dream, turning around to see it 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 years later, man, it just, it almost light a fire under your own ass. Like, can't nobody tell me I'm not a Lil Baby fan, and I ain't listened to his last project. But what I did listen to was the Little Baby and Marlo project, way before he was this cold at rap. That's why I'll never stop writing, because I tell people all the time, I'm not no freestyle type of nigga. I can't keep up with my own thoughts because there's so much shit up here. I gotta put it on paper so that, number one, I say it correctly.
That's how I was when I was doing music.
It just, man, once you find those people that help you build your own brand of music, because you relate so much to what they have going on, not just their styling, not just who they are, but what they live every day and what they allow you to see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this whole social media shit is social media, but excuse me, sometimes at the end of the day, that's all you got based on what you get from a person. You know what I'm saying? So even in that moment, you can see the real of somebody's life based on that individual or that situation or whatever situation they talking about or making a song about or a music video about. So man, it's just staying deep into the idea of hip hop and not the glory of fame. Like, that's, I just feel like the artists that I listen to, I pay attention to, like, they fame came so late in they grind that it was like it don't even matter that it's here. And that's what I'm striving to be. That's what I'm striving to feel, that like when the greatness come to me, I'm so ready for it and I'm so prepared for it that it's just like me putting on a new shirt. Yeah. So,
Speaking of shirt.
I can definitely dig that. I can dig it.
Okay, so just going back to one of the first questions that I asked you, LaDy-SN3AK, you mentioned about with your song Making Change, it had a lot to do with y'all grabbing a hold to the younger generation that is into making music and everything. Are you, from what you have pulled, the 5 artists or whatnot, are you taking them up under your wing to where they can start creating music and putting stuff out there and following in footsteps of people like yourself, HOTBOAKAI, and others that has gone before you?
Yeah, so what we did, so that happened in we did that program in 2021 or 2020, 2021, 2021. And so we gave them basically a package. So they got interviews, they got the classes, they got the featured artist spots in each show. So basically they got like a headliner spot in each show. And that meant they also got paid to do all of those things. And then they got the song on the EP. And so that was the bulk of that that package. So they developed as artists. They're all artists now. There are 2 of them whom are still making music right now, and one of them is like a poet who is like traveling all around the Bay and doing their thing. They were all really young. But Battle Bad Caro, you guys can look him up. I believe he just released a project a couple months ago. So whenever he hits me up about like, hey, I want to shoot a music video, or like I'm still one of their mentors. So they reach out to me if they need stuff, or like if, and so I'll connect them with, photographers, videographers, etc. So I still act as that. But in terms of working with them all the time, like, no, that's not happening, because again, like the program ended, but I will always be a mentor to those folks.
That's for sure.
Oh, and y'all can look up Jadon as well. He was one of the folks. Like if you look at that track, if you look that track up, or just look me up on Spotify, you'll see that whole EP, and all their names are there, and you could just check them out. But Jadon and Battle Bad Caro are the folks who are like touring and doing music, performing and stuff.
Spotify is right quick. Just let the people know how they could. What they
for sure.
You feel me?
Yeah, I'm LaDy-SN3AK. I'm on all platforms. You can Google me, check out my website. It's LaDy, LADY hyphen in the middle, SN3AK hyphen or minus sign. But LaDy-SN3AK, SN3AK. Y'all check me out. Everything, all platforms, you can find me like that.
How's it going? That's going, man. We gotta let these people know, man, how y'all can look motherfuckers up, because y'all be acting like y'all can't find motherfuckers. Like she said, Google, nigga. Stop playing.
Hey, we got a show together. We got a show coming up. What's up, man?
Y'all better.
I was gonna mention about that because it's in January, right?
That shit on Google, nigga. I'm telling you.
For real, we got a show together, man.
February 26th, bro. We turning Yoshi's up. Promise.
Speaking of y'all show, because y'all have a show together, would y'all do a collaboration to
pop out? Get the tickets, link in the bios, all of that. For real. For real.
As I was saying, because y'all have a show together, would y'all do a collaboration song to, put out there for the show?
That would be fun.
Promo. Hey, that's good promo.
That's definitely
promo. You ate with that shit right there. I ain't even mad.
Mm-hmm.
Real. Now we gotta set up the studio session. Soon as this shit over.
Hey, so my thing is, we could do an actual like studio recording, but I could also have you come to one of my rehearsals with my band, and we could do like a little live recording with the band. You feel me?
What is it? Sneaker.
Set that up.
The Sneaker Box Band. We out here.
Yeah, Sneaker Box. Sneaker Box Band.
I'm done.
I was gonna ask you about that too. I'm glad y'all mentioned that.
How did the band come about? How did that happen?
So in the last, I would say 4 years. So like 2019, I was like, yo, I love the live element. It gives me what I need when I perform. And so whenever a show has the budget for it and I can afford it, then I'm gonna get my band with me. You feel me? And
I'm glad you said that real quick, LaToya. That's the whole thing. Like the budget for the show, bro. You gotta create. That's what I'm saying. Like being an independent artist, bro. Her and I independently have to create that budget so we can put ourselves on that song type shit.
Straight up.
Like right now, it's more like somebody created that avenue for us. So they kind of get, you know what I'm saying, to say so on like, well, how many songs you get to do, or how many songs everybody get to do, or how much time everybody gets to perform. So like, you on to something, but we working towards to getting to that point where we could say, hey man, we want this building for 2 hours and I need 4 or 5 slots. You know what I'm saying? Now we can pick and choose how it goes. So like we working though.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I've done plenty of shows where like I'm like, here's my rates. Like I just send my rate sheet over, like, or like I've had a manager too in the past couple years. I don't have one now. I need one. So if y'all out there, help me out. I don't want to do all my booking no more.
Manager,
but
all A&Rs, all DJs, man, tap in with an independent.
You need agents.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I know agents, but I need a actual just artist manager. You feel me? A talent manager, like just that has my back. Like you know how I go, Kai. Like literally, yeah.
I've
It's kind
been
of
hard
saying
out
a lot of.
I'm like, damn, I would hate.
Hold
I
on.
be saying the same thing.
Matter of fact,
I would hate for somebody.
I think
to
I
call
got
me.
one on.
That was something I was mentioning to you, Hot Boy Kai, a while back about management, where management stands in it. Based off of some of the lessons that I took at Georgia State University, I know management is responsible for making sure the bookings are going well, making sure everybody is on the same page and that the artist is getting what they need and making sure no one is screwing them over. And she touched base on something that I had been talking about quite some time. But
You can tap in with your
I
boy
know
right here. Yeah, matter of fact, hold on. Let me just send it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm tripping.
Send the info, man. You don't throw the info. We send the info.
Yeah, you're right though. That's how it is. Like they make sure you good. They make sure, hey, did you post on social media today? You need to post.
Yeah,
hey, did you talk about this? You know what I mean? Like
Swear.
I'm trying to do it all. We be trying.
Like an artist, they need somebody to kick you in your ass because sometimes you just be like, oh look. As an artist, you just really look at yourself and say, like, hold the hell on. But like a manager ain't gonna play with you. And that's why I don't have one. When I say hold the hell up, fuck I mean, but you feel me? Like it's gonna come a time where that shit is really gonna become overwhelming.
I just sent you his info, LaDy-SN3AK, just to let you know. And you too.
For sure.
You too.
For sure. We'll
I
check
appreciate
that out.
That. Thank you.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh,
We all got to stay linked up for sure.
Man, that's
Real
what
talk.
this what this whole thing about, man.
Exactly.
Rawthentic Culture Podcast, giving you the rawest. You dig?
For sure. The arts of culture. Tune in. Y'all here.
Hey.
HOTBOAKAI. We going around here. We maneuvering, man, for real.
We moving. Everything is beautiful.
All the way in
This is a very exciting show. I want to see if anybody have any more last remarks. I'm gonna wrap it up, and this was very exciting show. I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We at Yoshi's January 26th. Me and Hot Boy Kai, we bringing it. And I think we doing a track though beforehand, so stay tuned for that.
No, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna make sure. We're gonna stay linked in with you.
Yeah.
We're gonna make sure. And since we wrapping up, I was just gonna say, LaDy-SN3AK, you welcome to come back on anytime. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure you come back on.
For sure.
Okay.
I would like to see this after the show that y'all put together because I would like to see the updates on how that show turned out.
We'll definitely link up some more with you and your band.
All right.
Up.
That'd be nice to have the band too, because that's the whole purpose of the arts of culture. So with the closing remarks, Hot Boy Kai, any closing remarks for you?
Y'all ass better be there at Yoshi's January 26th. Because you're talking about y'all better pull up.
Pull up with the gas because we got that fire. Straight up.
LaDy-SN3AK.
Any remarks, LaDy-SN3AK?
Absolutely. I just want to thank y'all, Raw Culture Podcast. I really appreciate all of you for just having me here. Thank you for just navigating this industry, this community, and bringing us all together in the same space. Yo, I'm excited for what's to come, and like peace and blessings. God bless all of that. And I'm just appreciative and excited about what's upcoming.
Okay, and what about you, Rod?
I appreciate you gracing us with your presence, LaDy-SN3AK.
So
all the time, bro. All the time, man. All the time. And with that being said, done, we up out of here. It's your boy.